Everyone, including me, wants to make snazzy, popular videos on TikTok. But what's going on behind the scenes? Well, TikTok just announced that they are laying off 60 employees, mostly in their sales and advertising departments. This is happening in New York, in Austin, in LA, and a few overseas. In doing so, they are in good company with many other tech companies who are laying off a lot of employees. This includes companies like Google and Amazon, who have cut their staff significantly.
So it's not just big tech that's seeing a bunch of layoffs. There are several publications recently that have announced layoffs as well. A recent one is Sports Illustrated. Last week, Sports Illustrated announced that it was laying off all of its unionized workers, which is about 80 members. Now, this was part of a reduction in force as part of cost-saving measures. It happened after Sports Illustrated's parent group revoked the license from the publisher for missing a payment. It was around nearly $3 million. So it's a big deal. So Sports Illustrated was also in the news last fall after there was a report that it was using AI-generated content, so articles written by AI, but also the headshots and biographical information for the alleged author was also generated by AI. After this report, Sports Illustrated pulled all of the content, including the articles, the headshots, the biographical information from its website.
So is this legal?
So unfortunately for workers, layoffs do happen, and they're generally legal, even when the workers are part of a union.
In most states, there's what's called an at-will employment agreement, and a company can let you go for any legitimate reason. Now, if there are a significant number of layoffs, the company may have to comply with what's called the WARN Act, where they have to give you at least 60 days notice.
This law protects employees of private businesses rather than the government. However, there are limitations on this. The workforce has to be at least 100 employees who have worked full-time for at least 6 months.
If you have been laid off, then a couple of things that you want to know. Are you being offered severance? And if so, what are the terms of the severance agreement? They'll usually give you that in a somewhat lengthy legal document. You probably want to have that reviewed by an attorney. How much is the severance and what are the terms? Are you going to get a reference? Are they going to oppose applications for unemployment insurance benefits? If you're over 40 years of age, by law, you're required to get 21 days to review your severance agreement, and then you have 7 days after you've signed it to change your mind. If you're under 40, then there's no requirement that the company give you any specific amount of time, but I imagine these companies, as most do, will give you the time that you need to really consider your severance offer. And know that severance offers are up for negotiation. Sometimes companies will give you more. The one thing you got to be careful of is that if you ask for a different severance agreement, you are technically countering their offer, which means they can take the severance off the table. It is very rare for that to happen. In most instances, the worst case you'll get is a no, we're going to stick with our original agreement. So usually it doesn't hurt to ask.